My first phone, kung naaalala niyo yung mga phones na malalaki with antenna, it was Alcatel. So, parang walkie-talkie lang ng mga security guards, mga ganon. So, it changed my life because it was very easy for me to communicate with other people na if there's a need for me to urgently tell them something, it was very convenient. And if I need to clarify something at this moment, it's just easy for me to text them.
I first got my phone when I was in second year college. It was hard-earned money, and it did change how I communicated with others. Since during that time, almost everyone had a phone, and during that time, phones were not just a luxury; it was already a necessity. So everything became really more convenient. Everything really became more efficient, and I would say that it really did change how I communicated with other people.
Life like before the information age. For me, it was somehow cool, somehow well planned. It was supposed to be well planned because it's very hard for me to communicate with other people. Kailangan nasasabihan na natin kung sino yung kailangan natin ma-meet when you are already meeting at a place. Tapos at a time, you don't know when or how much time you have to wait. Mga ganun na bagay. So, for me, life before this information age, I have to plan it well because it's very hard for me to communicate.
It was really so different. Everything was almost very manual before. It's like when we need to research something, we had to go to the library. When we needed information, we had to go to different respective offices. So in terms of information or data gathering, everything was a bit more challenging back then. And in terms of personal and daily activities, well, I guess the only thing is that we had more face-to-face encounter with people before the internet had a boom. So there were more face-to-face relationships with people back then as compared to now.
Current technologies allowed me to interact with people more, and I can actually say that I'm more connected with the entire world that there is out there. More than just my family, more than just my friends. I'm actually aware of whatever is happening in the North Pole and the South Pole, or even just in the US, which is practically miles away. And we see that it actually reaches the distance that's within us physically. And through technology, we're able to fix that all up. And I see that that's really a nice thing. And that makes me more connected with people all over the world.
Personally, technology has been a great tool. And I believe that it's a beautiful tool when you're talking about connectivity with other people. And personally, I feel like I've been more connected with other people in terms of communicating with them on a daily basis. For example, asking how their day went, even though we didn't get to see each other face to face. I think technology is that powerful to actually converse with someone, even though they're virtually not with you. I mean, they're not really with you, but they're virtually with you at the same time. The beauty with technology is that there's a lot of platforms that are available right now, and I think those platforms help my communication with other people and at the same time connect with them as well.
About me posting my life in social media, I rarely do it kasi medyo mahihain ako as a person. But what I like about social media is that there are some people na doon lang pala nakakapag-express sa social media, but when you communicate with them personally, hindi mo alam na yun pala yung taong yun, na explorer pala siya, na may pagka-locaret din pala tong taong to. So, I find it something na parang amazing that I am knowing this person better because this person is not that socially and physically open when it comes to physical communication.
I think the main goal of social media is for sharing in the first place. And for me, I think the idea of sharing is a way of actually communicating to a large group of people. Because at the same time, you're updating them with what you've done and what you've actually achieved at the same time. And for me, when people actually share things on social media, I feel pretty like personally attached to that person, because that person is actually willing to share his or her experience that day, or his or her activities that day or during a specific week. And I think it's so important for people to have that platform to actually express themselves at the same time and share those emotions with other people.
Personally, I think that it's very comforting when you have people to share your emotions with, even if you don't know each other in person. It's comforting to know that there's someone listening to you, that there's someone reading your tweets, your messages, your posts, and that the mere fact that there's people surrounding you, I think that makes me feel closer, and that ultimately comforts me.
Well, because of technology, I became more aware. So in terms of consciousness and awareness, it really helped me a lot. In terms of opening my perspectives, it really helped me become more open-minded, because you get to have an access to perspectives of other people, even if you haven't met them personally. Diba? You get to have access to content delivered by experts which you could not really get under any normal circumstances via their channel, YouTube, or their social media platforms. So with those, it has really changed me. I became more aware, more educated, more informed, and whatnot.
Oo, yun naman yung kasi usual argument that because of technology, because of social media, nalalasan yung physical communication natin with people who we want to know more deeply. Kasi sometimes we rely our information sa taong yun, kung ano yung nasa social media, kung ano yung nasa internet. Like doon natin malalaman na may mga ganito palang mga skandalo itong mga taong to, na ito pala yung mga friends niya. And the harm with that is we judge these people based on what we see in social media, which is quite negative.
With the invention of social media, it's like everyone became a star in their own right, diba? It's like, I don't know, the celebrity complex in everyone was developed. And it's like everyone had the feel that they need to share their lives with the rest of the world. And in a way, I can say that it's good. At least, even if you don't get in touch with these people, you still get to be connected with them, you still get to be updated with their lives. But in a way, there's also a bit of a negative impact to that.
Probably one thing that's really bad about social media and internet in general is that people tend to have an internet personality that's very much different towards who they really are. They build some sort of facade or mask of who they really are in the internet because they aim to please the people that are following them on Twitter, the people that are friends with them on Facebook. People tend to become people pleasers and change a part of themselves on social media, which is very much disadvantageous, because by the end of the day, you're not being happy for who you really are, but your happiness depends on is what people think of you. And I think that that's very traumatic, and that's really detrimental for us.
Technology right now has a lot of issues when you're talking about connecting one another, because the irony is that we feel more connected, but at the same time we are disconnected with other people when we're using such technology, such phones, such gadgets. Because once we actually look at it as a way to actually disconnect from other people, the main motivation to actually create this technology to connect us, it becomes avoided at the same time. We have to realize that with this technology, we have to have a balance at the same time with our real personal life, with connecting to other people and connecting virtually to other people and to the other parts of the world. And I think technology as a whole is so beautiful that we have to really be grateful for what we have right now.
Okay, just like any other thing, I think technology is a tool. Alright? At the end of the day, it's up to us. How are we going to deal with that technology, right? It's a tool that can go both ways, either the good one or the bad one. It's like a double-edged sword. And despite all the negativities that technology has brought us, we cannot deny the fact that we won't be here today as it is without the help of technology. So, in terms of bringing us closer or separating us till the end, it really is up to us to make the conscious effort despite the technology. Because at the end of the day, we cannot blame anyone but ourselves if we felt like we became more disconnected or separated with or without technology.
Para sa akin, it will bring us closer. Depende na rin kasi yan sa paggamit eh. May mga taong ginagamit ang social media at ibang klase ng technology to actually destroy relationships, to make enemies, or if they are not that cautious enough, it may lead to miscommunication. However, if we have to compare what transpired before to what is happening right now, it facilitated better communication better relationship. Dati kung yung mga kaibigan kong nasa Manila, telegrama lang, sulat lang, or nagmi-meet lang kami once a year, dahil yun nga, kailangan pa nilang bumiyahe ngayon. Pero ngayon, napakadali nang makipag-usap sa kanila. Yung mga previous students ko, ngayon nagchat-chat pa rin kami, nagkakamustahan, hindi ko na kailangan bumiyahe ng napakatagal, ng magbayad ng bus, hindi ko na kailangan mag-tricycle, pero kaya ko na mag-Skype sa kanila, mag-video chat with Facebook, and I'm constantly updated, especially when they will post something in social media. So para sa akin, instead of it making people apart, it brings people closer.